Hey sweet friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are turning simple Dollar Tree plates and chargers into stunning high-end decor. These are budget-friendly, stylish, but so easy. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Don't forget to leave me a big thumbs up, and let's get started. Alright, so first up we are using this charger that has the gold rimming, and I found this round mirror with also like the gold trim around it, and I thought the golds matched so perfect, so I wanted to pair these together. Also, I am finding tons of new designs of fabric out at Dollar Tree right now, and they have tons of beautiful ones to pick from. Now this is a fabric that I might not lean towards at the beginning, but I feel like it paired perfectly. If I step back and really think about it, it has tons of grays and greeneries and golds, which is really what I decorate a lot with, so I thought it would be fun to try on this. I start by using my favorite method, using Mod Podge on the back of this charger, and then really just smooth out the fabric, and then I don't apply more Mod Podge until it's completely dry because you don't want to trap in any Mod Podge or glue that you're using so there's not any puddles underneath and leaving white residue. But I go ahead, let it dry, cut the excess fabric off, and then do one more really thick layer of Mod Podge. You do not have to add this much. I just like to because it kind of seals it off. It makes the fabric more of a hard material, and it's really easy to clean. This mirror does come with a little hanger on the back. I'm just going to pop that off with my pliers, and then I am using hot glue mostly because it's really quick, but you can use more of a long-term adhesive. Put this mirror right in the middle. It fits perfectly. All the colors just blend so effortlessly. I just love this so much. I think it's so cute. Would be cute set up in a bathroom or the kitchen, but will be really fun to display. Alright, so we're picking up another charger, except this one has the silver rim around the edges. Peel off the price tag, and then I'm going to be putting some stars around here. So I knew I needed the help of my Cricut. I didn't want to have to hand cut all of these stars around, and I wanted to share with you all a really cool hack. If you have some heat and bond, which I highly recommend picking up, you can adhere this to the back of any fabric and turn it into something that your Cricut can actually cut. So I am just cutting the heat and bond is the same size as the fabric. Go ahead and just iron this together. Now make sure you clean off your iron. I'm using the Cricut heat press, and I always use it for projects like this, and I end up getting adhesive on my iron, and it did leave some residue. Thankfully, I am just cutting out some mini little stars, so you're not going to notice that it has any residue on here. But I go ahead and heat this up just like the directions say on the heat and bond package, and then you're able to stick it to your sticky mat, pop it in the Cricut, and cut out as many stars as you'd like. There might be a better way to do this, but I just insert a shape of the star, the one that I like best. I had a couple to choose from, and then just keep duplicating the rows until it put a bunch on there. I didn't even count how many that I needed, but you can see how awesome these pop out. Super easy to work with. You just pull the white backing off of the star, and then you're able to even iron it on another piece of fabric if you'd like to. It connects the two together. But for this, I just needed it to cut them out with my Cricut, so I pretty much am just going to be gluing these onto the plate with my Mod Podge and then letting that dry before I move on to the next step. Alright, so I just let these dry. Now I did show when I originally was going to make this project, I did have like a polka dot pattern red fabric that I was going to put in the back, but I feel like it was taking so much from the stars that I didn't love it, so I wanted to go ahead and switch that out with just some plain Jane red fabric. Now I love picking up my fabric in the fat quarters at Walmart, and right now you can get the plain fabric at my Walmart for $1.37, but any of the polka dot or pattern fabrics are $1.57. I still feel like that is a really great deal, and you're not having to stand there forever waiting on someone to cut you a yard of fabric. But I go ahead and just do the same thing I was doing before, Mod Mod Podge the entire charger, place down the red fabric, let that dry, and then you're ready to go. Alright, so for the next project, we are using this gorgeous set of lemons. It's a bowl with a salad plate or saucer. I'm not sure what you call it, but I feel like it is so cute. I love bringing in like fruit and decor pieces like this in the summertime without having to redo an entire room to be themed. Just pieces like this make it seem so much more festive for summertime. I am pouring these yellow candles that I melted from the Dollar Tree into the bowl, as well as this fun little lemon mold that I had. This is a silicone ice mold that I picked up from Walmart. Very inexpensive. These are a dime a dozen. Any store that you go into, if they have like a little summer or entertaining section, they always have fun ice molds. So you can pour your wax in there and it creates the most gorgeous little lemons. And then I wanted to add like icing or something that looked like Cool Whip topping to this candle. So I just poured a couple of white melted down candles into a paper bowl because it's easier cleanup. And then you just want to start whisking it. You do want it to cool off for quite a while before you start whisking it because it takes a long time for it to cool off enough to whip up like this. But I was trying to show you all that you can kind of tell when it's done whenever you kind of sling down some of the wax on top of itself and it holds its shape. But then you want to work quickly, get it into the icing bag. I like to use a star tip and just pipe it around the candle. You do not have to worry about it being perfect. One of my best secrets is to use glitter to hide all the imperfections, especially if you're not going to be burning it, which I just like to use it for decor. But it's so easy just to pipe this out, doesn't have to be perfect, put the glitter on there, and then push in some of these cute little lemon pieces that we made, and this looks like a sweet treat that's good enough to eat. Dollar Tree has these sturdy bowls, and I say that because a lot of times if you get larger at Dollar Tree, it gets really flimsy and cheap looking, but these are actually really nice. I wanted to use it as a planter, but wanted to wrap it in some fun colors. So I know I love putting out just a few pieces for the 4th of July. Really fun, especially if you're going to be barbecuing or be outside. It's just a fun way to warm up your home or outdoor space. Anywhere that you want to put this would work, but for this I am taking some more of those fat quarters that I grabbed at Walmart, cutting them into strips. I didn't measure anything, just try to make sure the first one goes around the bowl all the way to the bottom so you don't have any ugly seams. You could even make it longer if you wanted to go further down into the bowl, but for this I went ahead and just cut up some red and blue strips, and then we're going to be dipping them in Mod Podge. I am mixing a little bit of water with this Mod Podge. It thins it down because this fabric is going to really soak it up, and you don't just want to use pure Mod Podge because it's going to be too thick and you just don't need to use that much. I wanted to mention that I love putting my mixtures like this into these silicone pet bowls. This come from Dollar Tree and it's been like the best thing. I can use it for whatever I want to, including paint, then just rinse it out. You can scrape the excess paint in the trash can and then rinse it out in the sink and it's ready to go. You can even let it dry and you're able to peel off the paint from it. So it's so great to use these silicone pieces because I was used to using a lot of like paper bowls and paper plates, and this is a fun way to not have any waste. I just dip my fabric strips into this mixture and then apply it directly to the bowl, trying to overlap the pieces just a little bit and making sure that I'm staying in the same pattern. This does tend to get a little bit messy, so you want to protect your workspace, but I feel like it's so worth it. How pretty and vibrant and bright is this little planter? And I only spent like a few dollars getting the bowl, and then most people have fabric scraps at home that are just sitting there ready to be used. Like I mentioned, I wanted to turn this into a planter, so I am gluing in a couple of pieces of styrofoam and then cutting off these little greenery pieces. I like cutting them off of the stem because you have more control, and it's going to make the bowl look more full versus just sticking a couple of stems in there. And then you can just go wild filling this as full as possible. You could put any type of flower in there. I just feel like the green really contrasts really well off of the red, but I feel like this turned out so beautiful in that perfect pop of red color. So while we are talking all about this fabric and having scrap fabric on hand, I wanted to share with you all another fun project to make this summer. If you have leftover fabric or any of these leftover strips that you've just cut out for any of the previous projects, you can actually tie them around a rope to create a gorgeous garland. This would work for any holiday, any color. I have made tons of these, just once again kind of wanting to go with the same pattern. I just tied on one and kind of seen like what size that I wanted it and then mimic that for the other strips. But even though this takes a few minutes, I feel like it's so relaxing, something that you get the family involved in and goes by really quickly. Just turn some music on and it's over before you know it. But it's such a fun end result. I will definitely be making more of these for each season, but turned out really pretty. Alright, in the servingware section, they have these large oblong trays, and you can make these over to create more of a high-end look, just out of nothing it feels like. So I am taking this clear tray and I painted it with some gold spray paint, let that dry, and then using some of Dollar Tree's faux leather, I go ahead, put it inside the tray, trace around it so I know how to cut it and glue it right in place, and it makes it look so much nicer than just having a clear, cheap plastic tray. I did want to create some little fake handles for the edges, so cut down some of the leftover faux leather into strips, and then I can just attach this to the sides. I had enough to cut this in half, and then my favorite hack is to actually take thumbtacks. I just trimmed off the sharp parts, and it left the little top piece that made it look like it was actually put together with real hardware, which also gives it a high-end look, but a gorgeous tray that just turned out really cute. And summertime is the perfect time to pick up all of these trays because they keep putting out servingware, more in their entertaining section, and they're really great pieces for the $1.25. For this one, I just grabbed the largest tray I could find, spray painted it with a matte black spray paint, and then I strung up some of my own beads, which I felt like this was a gorgeous color and gonna add so much detail to this. I wanted it just to house a few decor pieces, so I tied it together, hot glued it down in place so these aren't going to roll around, and it looks so fun decorated. And then you definitely can use these outside. I just grabbed a charger as well as a planter. You could use any planter that you'd like and just pretty much make it on a pedestal to serve your favorite ingredients to make some s'mores. Thank you all so much for checking out today's video. Please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. Let me know in the comments down below which project was your favorite, and I'll see you in the next one. Happy crafting. Bye.